Guten Morgen, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. Mein Name ist Manuel Hölzle. Ich bin Vorstand und Chefanalyst des Veranstalters der GBC AG und darf Sie natürlich auch wieder sehr herzlich zu unserer 31. MKK Münchner Kapitalmarktkonferenz heute begrüßen. Wir streamen die Veranstaltung wieder aus den schönen Räumlichkeiten unseres Konferenzhotels, dem Roccoforte The Charles Hotel in München, und hoffen natürlich, dass wir nächstes Mal auch wieder einmal persönlich Sie hier begrüßen dürfen und auch persönliche Treffen dann wieder möglich sein werden. Organisatorisch möchte ich sagen, Sie können Fragen per Chatfunktion stellen und wir stellen Ihre Fragen dann am Ende dem Präsentator. Moderiert wird der heutige Tag durch mich und meinen Kollegen Herrn Cosmin Filker sowie unseren Konferenzpartner, die Wirtschaftsprüfungskanzlei MSW aus Berlin, vertreten durch Herrn Dr. Thiere und seine Kollegin Frau Carolina Pauke. Ja, begrüßen möchte ich deshalb kurz auch nochmal meinen Co-Moderator, Herr Dr. Thiere aus Berlin, für eine kurze Vorstellung Ihrerseits.
Ja, guten Morgen und vielen Dank, Herr Hölzle. Ich freue mich ganz besonders auch in diesem Jahr wieder dabei zu sein, im ja mittlerweile schon gewohntem Online-Format. Daran haben wir uns, denke ich, mittlerweile alle gewöhnt. Funktioniert aus meiner Sicht wunderbar, aber dennoch ist es natürlich immer viel, viel schöner, persönlichen Kontakt mit Ihnen zu haben. Und da sind wir, denke ich, alle zuversichtlich, dass das bald wieder der Fall sein wird. Wie gesagt, mein Name ist Matthias Thiere. Ich bin Partner der MSW GmbH in Berlin. Wir sind Wirtschaftsprüfer und Steuerberater und wir haben uns spezialisiert auf die Prüfung und Beratung von Unternehmen, die sich entweder auf dem Weg an die Börse befinden oder auch Unternehmen, die schon an der Börse sind. Wir haben unser Berlin im Herzen, wir haben unser Büro im Herzen von Berlin. Unsere Mandanten sind aber über ganz Deutschland verteilt und sogar weltweit. Herr Hölzle, ich denke, wir haben ein sehr, sehr interessantes Programm heute vor uns und ich glaube, wir sollten unsere Zuschauer nicht länger warten lassen.
So. Hi, Tim.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I guess it's afternoon there, right?
Yeah, right. So nice to have you at our conference. So just upgrading your video. All right. So greetings to Canada from Munich.
Thank you.
So nice to have you at our conference. For today, you're our last but not least speaker here during first day in our room 2 here, virtual room 2, and I will give now the microphone to my co-moderator, and she will say some words about your company, and then after this it will be your stage then.
Thank you.
So, Mrs. Pauk.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Jim Payne, CEO from dynaCert Incorporated. It's an energy sector Canadian company specializing in providing carbon emission reduction technologies to a global market. Recently, the company was invited by the government of the Canadian province of Ontario to participate in the Hydrogen Strategy Working Group under the Ministry of the Environment in Canada. So we look forward to your presentation, and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be able to present. Unfortunately, we can't be there in person, but I certainly appreciate everything that GBC is doing to make this happen. I want to just give me a second. Okay, so I've got our presentation up there. We are a global solution to reduce pollution. Our technology, first of all, there is a forward-looking statement, but I'm sure everybody's quite aware of that. So our technology, it is a patented technology which produces
Oh,
measured
sorry,
amounts.
sorry, Jim. Could you please share the presentation again? So if it does not work, I will do a concierge service for you. So no problem, I will share it for you. So
Thank you.
now it's there. All right.
Technology is a great thing, but
yeah, no
so
problem.
we are a global solution to reduce pollution. Certainly pleased to be able to present this today. We will go to the next slide. I guess I don't have the opportunity. So this is just a typical forward-looking statement. So we have a patented technology. What we do is we produce measured amounts of hydrogen and oxygen gases from distilled water. This is produced on demand, and so there's no storage, no pressure, and it is very safe. This is a technology which uses a small amount of power from the battery bank or from the alternator of an engine to produce these gases. What we do is we produce the measured amounts of gases and we deliver it through the air intake of an internal combustion engine to enhance the burn. Currently, we've got units on trucks, mining equipment, generators, reefers, construction equipment around the world. Our product reduces particulate matter, or the black smoke, reduces the use of the diesel exhaust fluid and the diesel particulate filter. We've got 5 families of patents globally. Go to the next slide. So we're not a new company. We have spent 17 years and $70 million to perfect this product. We continue to expand our research and development into new models, but we have got now units where we produce them for everything from transport trucks, like I said, to shipping, to rail. We've really aggressively gone into the mining industry in the last year. Our product results in more power, better torque, less fuel consumption, at the same time reducing the CO2, CO, and NOx for all internal combustion engines. We go to the next. So our product has been proven to reduce the NOx, or the nitrogen oxide, up to 88%, and we reduce the CO2 6 to 19%, the CO, or the carbon monoxide, by 47%, the THC, or the hydrocarbons, up to 57%, and the particulate matter up to 55%. This is something we've had tested and verified globally through Pitt Group here in Canada, through Continental and Emitech in Germany, and through the University of Ontario here in Canada. Can we go to the next slide? I think we missed a slide. Okay, this is just showing an application, with it on a transport truck here in Canada. Let's go next. So our current market, like we said, so we've got our units on buses, refrigerated trailers, which we call reefers here, smaller delivery trucks, Class 8 trucks, power generation, like the large stationary generators and that, the farming industry, construction, mining equipment, and we are planning to move into the passenger vehicles. We have now got some in the small marine vessels, and we're currently working with the locomotives. Could we go next? So you look at the size of the market. I mean, the market is huge. I mean, the total internal combustion engine, there's over 1 billion internal combustion engines operating worldwide. Over 100 million of these internal combustion engines are built every year. We look at the HG2 market, so we've got different size units. We've got an HG1 and an HG2, or an HG1 or an HG2 market, it has a market for 20 million in North America, 40 million in Europe, 55 million in South Asia, and 20 million in Southern America. That's okay, let's go next. Here's the true value proposition to the end user. So our unit cost, now that we're talking Canadian dollars, it's $8,850. So it's just under $10,000 for a unit. You know, at 161,000 kilometers, an average distance traveled here in North America, you know, you look at the fuel savings, the return on investment just on fuel savings is less than 1 year. So it pays for itself back very quickly. Like I said, you know, we've got independent validations. You know, we worked here with the University of Ontario, Institute of Technologies, Pitt Group in Canada. Pitt Group is a gold standards in North America. And then we went to Europe and we worked with Continental and Emitech, which we got our product certified with homologation for Europe. We went through and got it certified with ICAT in India. And we've got independent testimonials by users globally. TÜV North and TÜV South tested it, you know, by and for ABA and KBA European homologation. So for the end user, what we've got now is we've got our unit where it has, you know, we've got it's fully computerized, and with the Hydrolytica, which is the telematics, it's like a fleet management system on steroids. But what it really does, it tells the end users real time, day to day, the fuel savings, the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. It compares the fleet performance, the driver performance. So it's no longer, you know, us trying to tell anybody, you know, this works. It's no longer somebody trying to measure their fuel to see it works. This is taken in real time. It's actually taking the information directly from the OBD port and from the computer of the engine, so that it removes all questions. The Hydrolytica proves to the users the value proposition of dynaCert's products today. Like I said, you know, we've spent $70 million in research and development, perfecting this thing in research and development, and then having it commercialized, having it tested and validated worldwide. dynaCert, we sell assembled products. Our products are assembled currently here in Toronto. We are in talks in Mexico, Germany, and India to set up assembly plants there also. The cost of production is 50% of the wholesale price, so there's very healthy profit margin for the company. But at the same time, there's a very fast return on investment to the end users, less than 1 year, like I said, just on the fuel savings. But we talk about the fuel savings, really, you know, what we are really focused on these days is the reduction in emissions and the greenhouse gases. Here we go. So we currently have 45 dealers globally servicing 43 countries. You know, we wholesale here, we manufacture, we wholesale, and we sell through dealer network. Could we go to the next slide? So the high barriers to entry, you know, first of all, we are very unique. Our technology is patented, where we separate the H2 and the O2, or the hydrogen and oxygen. So we are feeding pure hydrogen and pure oxygen to the engine. Once again, this is a measured amount, and the measurements is taken from our computerization, talking to the engine. It's like a smartphone. It's learning all the time, so that we can introduce the right amount of gas to get the best performance. We hold worldwide patents on the technology. We've got a very unique electrolysis system, which is patented. Then we've got our ECU, which is our electronic control unit. Once again, this is certification in global jurisdictions. Again, like I said, we've got 45 plus dealers now, and we have the first to market advantage of this product. So the capital structure of the company, we've currently got 381 million shares outstanding, with 21 million warrants, 27 million options, a market cap at approximately 190 million Canadian. It's a very liquid stock. I mean, we trade over 1 million shares here in Canada on a daily basis, and we trade almost the same amount now in Europe. We have a very strong shareholder, you know, so, you know, between the management and the insiders, institutions or investors, family offices, Then we've got Eric Sprott. Eric Sprott is a gentleman, a billionaire here in Canada, which invested and bought 10% of the company just last year. And then again, we've got, several retail investors. But if you look at the overall, I mean, there is a very strong hold on a very large majority of the stock. We like to do a comparable. I mean, there was a company actually did a comparable on the company, and compared it to the skirts that go underneath the trailers. I remember about 7 years ago when these skirts were first launched here in North America at the Kentucky Truck Show. It was interesting. Most of the truckers said there is no way we would ever put that underneath our trailer. Today, there's over 90% of all trailers throughout North America have these skirts on. They save on an average 1% fuel cost at an average cost of $3,000 per truck. So if you look at our unit where we are under $10,000, just under $10,000, with even at a 10% fuel savings, this is a 3 times better proposition. Again, with the measured emission savings and greenhouse gas savings, again, this takes us to a whole new level. Can we go to the next slide, please? I think we just missed a slide. So again, we want to talk about the carbon credits. So dynaCert we've now got the worldwide patent on the means and methods of monitoring and monetizing carbon credits within an internal combustion engine. This we believe, is going to be huge for the company and for the end user. So the end user, gets to split. dynaCert looks after all the paperwork and everything to get this carbon credits, and then it is split equally 50-50 to the end user and to dynaCert. We've got the approval for the concept. We are just in the final stages of getting the final approval through Verra, which is the worldwide. There's 2 companies in the world that verify this. Verra is one. So dynaCert, as soon as that's done, these carbon credits will be marketed globally. We think that's huge. We believe that is the razor blade or the reoccurring revenue stream. Recent developments, you look here in North America, Harold Martin was just inducted to the advisory board. Martin Technologies engages to further, to prove the science behind it, because we have so many times, people questioning on the science, but also Martin Technologies is very, very connected directly with the OEMs. Now, today in North America, we are in talks with the OEMs, which we think this will be a huge, step forward in validating the product. Again, I talked about the carbon credits, concept and methodologies been improved by Verra. Again, Mr. Eric Sprott invested $14 million. And then recently, last year, we graduated from the Toronto Venture Exchange to the Toronto Stock Exchange. And so when we did that, we had to do a small capital raise just to satisfy the Toronto Stock Exchange. This was an overnight bought deal. We had to raise $5 million to satisfy them. They actually raised 21 million. We cut it down to 8 million because we were really not looking to raise that much money or dilute the stock, but we certainly more than satisfied everything. And this was done just strictly through 20 institutions here in North America. We've recently also announced that Dish is a subsidiary of dynaCert, where we now offer rental units to the end users. We have a semi-automated assembly plant here in Canada. Right now, we have the capacity of 72,000 units a year based on 3 shifts. Like I said, we are looking at and we're in talks of opening assembly plants globally also. We have government relations formalized. We are now in talks with the Canadian government, both federally and provincially. Actually, you watch over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some major announcements concerning governments and concerning, our product going on government vehicles and stuff. So we're very excited about that. We'll go to the next slide. This just shows the management of the company. Myself as CEO, Wayne Hoffman is the chairman. Wayne Hoffman was a former vice president of John Deere. Then you look at the management, we've got Robert Myers, the COO and chief engineer, very, very highly versed engineer. Jean-Pierre Collin, who has spent his lifetime in the investment world. Then we've got Enrico Schlepfer, our VP of Global Sales, our Director of Finance, and David Bridge, gentleman that came from BlackBerry, which is our technical advisor. We go to the next slide. This just shows our board of directors. Again, we've got a very strong board of directors, backing this company. Let's go to the next slide. So the investment highlights, first of all, we've got proven carbon emission reduction technology. We have proprietary know-how and patents. We are a leader in the Canadian hydrogen technology with carbon credits now can be measured and monetized, a high barriers entry, strong balance sheet with approximately $20 million in the bank. And we're a very liquid stock. Our near-term growth potential, both globally, strategy, Canada, United States, South America, Europe, South Asia, and the Middle East. We have a very diversified market. We are currently like I said before, we're in the trucks, reefers, trailers, now buses, city buses and school buses, heavy construction equipment, mining equipment. The mining industry has really warmed up to this. We've got units literally around the globe now in the mines, and these are the massive units. Let's go to the next slide. So I think we are, how are we doing for time?
So we have some minutes left. So thank you very much for your interesting presentation. And I think we could go to the Q&A round. We have a question here. How did Corona affect your business development, and how did you cope with that? So
that's a
most important questions these days again.
For sure. So that's a very important question. And there is no doubt. I mean, COVID hit us just like it did every other company, I think, globally. You look at our growth, we literally went into that hockey stick curve at the very beginning of just like the month before COVID. Our stock was taken off. We were making announcements of, a lot of sales and stuff like that. And then COVID hit. It certainly scared everybody. And then we were forced here in Ontario or in Canada to shut down, with the exception of research and development. Now, the good thing was we were very well capitalized, and we took advantage of that time. We upgraded our assembly plant and everything like that, where it is now fully automated, semi-automated, fully computerized systems, so that we could put out, so we could up our upper quantity of assembly. We certainly spent a lot of time within the research and development, because that was the one area it was not shut down. So we were able to even further advance our product along with the carbon credits of it. But then at the same time, we have now expanded our research and development, and I don't want to lose focus with what we are currently doing for the transportation industry, but we have now really expanded our research and development into the hydrogen technology, into the future of the hydrogen economy, where we are now, developing much larger AEM units and stuff like that to be able to work and stay ahead of the curve within the hydrogen economy. We are also now, both Jean-Pierre and myself sit on the board of both the provincial and the federal, governments within the hydrogen economy. And I've always believed that hydrogen was the future. I always believed that carbon credits was the future, and I think we are at the forefront of both. I'm very excited about that.
And you announced a news regarding the hydrogen coalition. Can you tell us again a little bit more about that? Because it sounds good.
That is the Canadian government, where they are working directly. So they've put together a board of about 20 different professions within the hydrogen and within the energy field, looking at how do we best further the hydrogen economy. They really do believe strongly that hydrogen is, the long-term way to go. I mean, obviously, as we know, burning hydrogen, there is zero emissions. We see this as a huge advantage, and we were certainly honored to be asked to participate in that and be part of that. We literally have, every 3 weeks we have like a 2-hour session, and there's information going back and forth. But through that, it really benefited dynaCert too, because it has now woken the Canadian government up to our product and our product offering. Matter of fact, we are currently got a list, just from the federal government and from the provincial governments of all the vehicles. They're asking us now, what vehicles, what do we have that our product can benefit to help reduce emissions. So we are working with them now, putting these projects together. And so, yeah, I think this has been a huge benefit for dynaCert today, but also into the future.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. Another question is regarding electrification versus hydrogen in the truck market. How do you see it? Will electrification come to the truck market, or will it be hydrogen only? What do you think?
Well, it's interesting. So like I said, since we involved Harold Martin and Martin Technologies, we have now got the OEMs talking directly with us for this. I firmly believe, there is true benefits to electrification. You look at cars, city cars and stuff like that, but I really believe, the long haul trucks, we are, I don't see that, certainly I don't see that as a competition. I don't see that as a threat. Here in North America, trucks run 24/7. They have multiple drivers, they've got sleeper cabs on them, and they go nonstop. They'll go, from Canada to California and back. And, with an electrification right now at the best, they've got 8 hours of charge time and then all the charging to recharge them. But more importantly is the weight, and it's interesting. I had one of the larger grocer chains here in Canada that is using our technology. When the first electrification truck market was announced, this company bought or put a deposit on 6, and they made a big announcement of it. I called them up and they laughed and they said, Jim, it was the cheapest PR we ever did. The reality is we'll use these trucks for around the cities and stuff like that. They said once we get them, but there were years out of getting them. They said it will never work for us in the long haul.
Right. Regarding your sales, what would you say? What is your midterm expectation right now, or when will sales pick up? And what can you say? Where do you see dynaCert in 3 to 5 years?
Well, in 3 to 5 years, honestly, the sales are just picking up now. Like I said, I certainly encourage everybody to watch the news over the next couple of weeks, both with government involvement, government sales, and very large fleets here in Canada. They're just now, starting now. It presents a problem. Most of the large fleets here in Canada, right now, we are again in a lockdown. So people can't even go onto their sites to install them and stuff like that. But we have some of the largest companies here in North America that are, in talks with us. They have, several of them have ran, initial pilot projects. They've all had great results. They're moving forward. Like I said, I really encourage us to watch over the next few weeks. Here's the reality. dynaCert needs to sell 2,500 units a year to cover our nut, to cover our operating. I so believe that we will meet and exceed that so quickly this year. But with the governments and with the, I've literally got a list here right now, which is, talking tens of thousands of units. Now, just how quick, obviously, it takes about 3 hours for an install on a truck. And typically, the truckers only do that when the trucks come in for servicing. They're not going to take the trucks off the road to do this. But things are certainly ramping up. COVID is now settling somewhat. And, we believe within the next few weeks back in Ontario here, things are going to start opening up. I know in United States are opening up. Good Lord willing, in Europe, things are starting to open up. And we get past this COVID lockdown but I really do believe that the opportunity is great. I really do believe also with carbon credits coming online that this is going to be huge.
Right. And you really have a good, really good technology in the sector. How do you see competition in your sector? And what about your patent environment?
Well, we've currently got 5 families of patents now. We are expanding our patents all the time. We have worldwide patents. We have spent millions of dollars securing our patents. We have one of the best patent lawyers here in Canada that's on top of this. I really do believe we've got a very strong patent portfolio, with our technology, with the computerization of our unit, which, I'm not going to say there's not competition out there. There's companies out there trying to do this, hydrogen injection systems. I think they are all years behind us. And to my knowledge, not one of them have ever gone to the extreme to have it tested, verified, and certified anywhere in the globe yet.
Mm-hmm. And on one hand, you're a hydrogen company, and that also goes with ESG and sustainability. How do you cope with that? Because it's more and more important for investors here in Europe.
No, and we have, it's more important investors globally, and we have companies literally talking to us on a daily basis now, concerning the ESG. And you're absolutely right. We are one of the greenest companies out there. You look at this technology, where else, how else can you reduce, the emissions straight across the board north of 50%, and the important thing is this is not a filtration system. This is reducing these emissions and reducing the greenhouse gases right at the combustion. It is because of the proper mixture of hydrogen and oxygen to the internal combustion engine to enhance the burn. We're not a fuel, we are a catalyst. But by doing that, we have such a much cleaner burn, a more efficient burn, and that's how you end up reducing the emissions. But that's also how, it literally extends the life of an engine. It extends the life of the oil. It extends the life between changes with the DPF systems and stuff like that. The DEF systems, the trucks are only using 1/3 of the diesel exhaust fluid when our unit is on there, because it's not producing the NOx, it's not producing the particulate matter. You look at the regens of an engine, trucks are now going 3 times as far between regens. So, there's the benefits are huge.
Right. Thank you very much for your really interesting presentation, and thank you very much for being at our MKK this year again, and hopefully we will see each other in person next month or latest in December. Yeah. And you have some further one-on-ones with a different link just for information. And thank you very much, Jim, and best wishes to Canada. And looking forward for the next time we meet in person at our conference again.
Thank you, Manuel, and absolutely. Thanks to everybody, and everybody stay safe. And like I said, good Lord willing, we get through this COVID, or we will get through it. Hopefully we can get it through it sooner than later. And yes, I look forward to coming back to Munich to be there in person again. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And also stay healthy and stay safe, and have a nice week and have good talks in the one-on-ones.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, Tim.